So with the Youth Justice Clinic, we worked with a variety of clients. Their ages ranged from 7 years old to 74 years old, and we worked on different matters.
We took the time to, in this clinic, took the time to define what we thought justice was for us. You know, justice is, instead of the youth that are in the DYRS jail coming home with little jail IDs that show that they were in jail, they get to come home with a regular DC DMV ID, and that way they're not judged when they apply for a job or they try to get into school or, you know, just try to live normal life. Justice is being able to get the mold remediated in your home because it's affecting your child and the way that your child breathes and lives and eats. Or not even just youth, we also took some time to define youth. And I know some people think that once you turn 18, oh, you're grown, you know, you're an adult, but we looked at it differently. You know, these issues that you started facing as a child that continue to impact you all the way up until you were 70 years old, you know, it's like, you still need some help.
The client that I was advocating for in Housing Conditions Court was able to receive a rent credit. So to explain it briefly, a rent credit is when you are authorized by the court not to pay your rent for a certain amount of time if the housing conditions haven't been met by the maintenance crew of the housing place. And so at that time, he was authorized to not pay rent for basically the entire summer. And he did pay rent because our client is such a diligent person and a great tenant. So we requested that the court allow for us to get a refund on that rent. So he was able to receive a check for the rent that he already paid. And allowing for the client to not have to pay rent. They're very strict on it, and so I was able to successfully advocate and express to the judge why it's important for him not to pay rent, why when we stop paying rent, it will bring attention to the maintenance crew and make them realize, oh, this client is serious, and if you don't fix what they're dealing with, then we are going to ask for more relief in court.
So I had a client that I was representing that had a small child, and they were having some very serious mold issues that was affecting the child's health. And I was able to go to court and get the landlord to come and just remediate all the issues after months of trying.
Being a part of the Youth Justice Clinic has changed my approach as a law student. I dress different. I show up in a professional attire, even if I just have class. I think it taught me how to speak better, how to be more confident in what I'm advocating for, and how to understand like the depths of language and how important it is to make sure that when you are advocating, you're saying the story, you're giving your audience an idea of what your client has been through so they can empathize with you and your client. I don't necessarily want to practice litigation. It's so ironic because I've said it for the last 2 years, I don't want to practice litigation. But with this experience, I threw myself in something that I'm technically not interested in, and I found myself really caring about the client and realizing this is more than just going to court, signing paperwork and leaving. This is connecting with a whole entire family of people who care about this client.
I think the Youth Justice Clinic itself helped me in every aspect. My professor, Professor Snow, she helped me to hone every skill, just my litigation skills, but just professionalism as a whole. I think when I joined or when I signed up for the Youth Justice Clinic, I had a different expectation of how it would be. But what I ended up learning and experiencing is just so much more valuable than what I ever thought that I can receive.